Channel Sport this morning. We're not being joined by basketball writers, analysts, pundits, Femi Adefeso, who's in a great mood this morning. That's because Nigeria's D Tigers secured automatic qualification for the Tokyo 2020 Olympics after defeating China yesterday in the final classification game. Femi, it's great to have you on the show. On a fantastic and day like this.
Yeah,
I can see the green as well in your mind.
I'm very excited. I'm excited not just because we've qualified, but because there's so much potential in the D Tigers, and very soon we'll become world beaters.
Wow!
You can take it from me.
Wow.
This is a team that, you know, it seemed like the very beginning we couldn't get our acts right.
Yep.
A little bit of some tactical inefficiency from the coach, trying to understand his players a little bit. I don't know why, you know. But if you look at how we played after, you know, that Argentina game, you know, and then we went on, you know, to our last game. We played. Our first game was against Russia. We played Argentina, then South Korea. You could see how we came out. There was a reaction, you know, from the players, because it was now about, look, there's something we need to play for. And I think that's what the players need, motivation.
Yeah. Let's talk about this game. We're seeing pictures from the matchup against China. That was a very nervy one. First, second, and third quarters for me, well, I was worried. And we were playing against the vociferous, you know, supports.
Exactly. And I remember going on social media before that game, and you know, everybody was alluding to the victory of the D Tigers. Hey, look, the D Tigers did this in Senegal against a more boisterous crowd.
Wow,
and then you have these guys in China. I think these guys are professional. So I wasn't expecting some, although I was a bit worried, you know, because consistently we haven't finished very well. Our last quarter has been a little shaky.
And before usually we're better in the third and the final quarter.
Exactly. Our third quarter is like our quarter. Like that's, we just zone in and, you know, we get on a run. So we're leading the first quarter, yes, it was good. And then going into that third quarter, into the fourth, a lot of errors. I think that's one thing that we need to work on. Too many turnovers from these guys. Even though, you know, by statistics, surprisingly, Nigeria is one of the leading rebounding teams. One of the teams also leading in steals. You know, as well, the likes of Chimeze Metu also in blocks. You know, in this tournament. So you look at the size overall. It's a balance. Against China, I thought we let loose a little bit in the game, but as the Chinese were beginning to pile up the pressure, you know, the guys stepped in and they reacted very well to ensure that we got the win, because we couldn't afford any margin for error. Tunisia was taking care of business against Angola,
tough one for them.
If they win, we lose, then that's going to be a problem. So we ended up with the same wins and losses, 3 wins, 2 losses. But based on points differential, we on the positive, they on the negative. I think we had plus 19, and they are like minus 4 or thereabouts. So it was good at the end of the day, you know, that we've taken the easier route now to the Olympic Games, which is very, very important. Because, hey, I think the Olympic qualifying will only give room for 3 teams to join the remaining ones. And it's going to be everybody. So it's probably going to be just like the last one. What they did was, you know, 3 different teams will host it. So it could be anybody. So I decide to host, for example, and then everybody comes in. And only one team will go out. So there could be like 6 teams in that team fighting for one ticket. So that's really going to be very, very tough. So it's good we've qualified for Tokyo. Now, everything now has to do with preparation. So we just need to zero in on that and get the job done.
Interesting. Femi, you mentioned how this team has got great potential and everything. We saw a player who, you know, unarguably shone like a million stars for Nigeria. Josh Okogie, you know, first time out in the NBA.
He lived up, lived up to the hype.
I mean, these are the numbers it's come up with in that game against China, and very impressive, you'd say. He has done this all competition as well, so it shouldn't really come as a surprise to a lot of us. But the fact that he's still a young star.
19 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks.
Filling up
that's filling everywhere, exactly. And I think for him, he's also a test, because it's always difficult transitioning, playing the NBA and playing the international basketball. The ball is different, you know, some of the rules are different in terms of... So I think it's a good way to start your career. Still young, lots of potential. And by the way, yes, he was perhaps the most hyped player coming into this tournament for Nigeria. And he lived up to the hype. You know, and I also heard even his team, you know, backed him up with some of his backroom staff out there in Solar Timber was just to help him get in shape. That was how much interest, Josh really had. And to be honest, he was our most consistent player, perhaps our best player throughout the tournament, even though I think Michael Eric, gave himself a huge shout when he was given the chance to play. By the time he came into that game against Korea, he just stole the show, and ever since he was big, and he proved to be very, very consistent.
That's one for you people that think basketball is going small these days and there's no chance of the big men again. Michael Eric steps in and tells you this is still our game.
Yeah, this is it. And also, you saw Chimezeme too as well. Give us some
another big man.
Another big guy, 6'11", giving us some very good highlights with the dunks and with some very cheeky passes. You look at it, the idea of small ball, I think is just, I would rather reverse it and say more of shooting the basketball than playing close to the basket and trying to dunk and do all those things. You look at most of the big men now in the game, from the Serbians, Jokic, you can now shoot the ball. So it's about not just trying to use your size and your power to rock your defender into the basket. Now you have to learn to shoot the ball. I think that was one of the things that affected, the Greeks, in this one with Giannis, a lot of
let's cut them some slack. They lost to the United States of America, two-time defending champions. So I mean, no one really expected them to beat.
Yeah, but they still have
a
back door to come in. The US too, they are quite small. Just Miles Turner, Brook Lopez. You look at the size. They also, everybody's saying perhaps that might be their undoing, especially when they face the likes of Spain or Serbia at some point.
Let's go back to our game, right?
Yeah, let's those guys out. Before we continue our conversation, let's get to listen to the president of Nigeria Basketball Federation, Ahmadu Musa Kida, who's very, very satisfied with Nigeria's outing in China.
We have a team that is the best team that has come out of Africa ever. And you can ask the Secretary General of FIBA Africa or the president, the former president of FIBA Africa, who are very convinced about the performance of the boys. In fact, for all those matches that we lost, you could see that it was very, very, very keenly competitive. And not like the others where they blow you away with 30, 40 points. You just come really to wear your jersey, take a few pictures and go home. So I'm quite satisfied with the quality of the team. I'm quite happy, especially the match with Argentina, for what it is that they played. And then going forward, I think we can only get better.
There you go, Musa Kida there, believing in the potential of this the Tigers side as they go forward. And the next big international for Nigeria is definitely the Tokyo 2020 Olympics. And I listened to Al Farouk Aminu and Diogu talking about how they can make serious noise in Japan. I want to ask you now, how loud can they get in Japan? This is going to be back-to-back qualifications for them. They've placed 11th last time out in Rio. 4 years down the line, what are you expecting from what you've seen on ground so far?
A bigger performance.
Really?
A bigger performance from this. This was, yes, we may not have gotten the results as much as we want to, but I think this is the best performance we've had.
Yeah, the World Cup,
at any international competition outside of Africa. Yeah. We've managed to win games that were tough. We stayed close in bigger games.
True.
I think we've learned a lot. And let's not forget, this is perhaps the first time we're having this number of stars. And we have like 4 players in and out of the NBA that are on this team. We have a lot more that could commit, to play into the team. I mean, there's still the likes of Victor Oladipo, still the likes of Bam Adebayo with Miami Heat, all there. There's Wesley Owundo, at Orlando Magic. There's and the young man at Toronto Raptors. There's Shemi Ojele.
Lots of Nigerian players.
So there are a lot of all these players now who perhaps, because the lure of being an Olympian is perhaps the art of every player you could think of. So with this sort of audition that the D-Tigers have given, everybody will want to jump on the ship.
Okay, if you're having the D-Tigers having the opportunity, you can go to the World Cup, be the best African team and all that, and get a ticket to the Olympics. Why is FIBA Africa not having a change of it, in the sense that you have girls winning the title and you have to go through qualifiers in November for you to be able to get a ticket? Why not just say the champions, okay, if it's an Olympic year, then why not just go straight into the Olympics?
Okay, so
Can they just change that?
this is actually a FIBA thing. It's not.
That's what I'm saying.
It's
FIBA,
not
I know
FIBA.
FIBA,
Africa.
yeah. FIBA, okay, FIBA.
Yeah, it's not FIBA Africa.
Okay.
You know, it's FIBA.
And
they're changing the whole concept. Why? Because I mean, we've been talking about basketball in the last how many months?
Yeah.
You know, in times past, we always had like a 2-year gap without nothing happening in basketball because you just play the Afro basket and you're done. 2 years, you've qualified for the Olympics because it's usually a year preceding either the World Cup or the Olympics.
Wait, I think it was always World Cup year.
No, usually what they do is you play a year before.
Okay.
So you win the Afro basket, you qualify for the World Cup. Or you win the Afro basket, you qualify for the Olympics.
Yes.
So there was always a gap and a void. And now FIBA is deliberately trying to grow the game. That's why we had the qualifying series to the World Cup. There were 5 windows. You know, so it's just the same.
Why not? If you're having, I know they're trying to, you're going to also have qualifiers for the men. I get your point. My point is, if you finish good and you have an opportunity to go straight to the Olympics, why not just say, okay, the winners or the runner-up qualify automatically, then the others play the qualifiers? Why everyone? I know the gap will still be filled, but why not just let the others?
The qualifiers for the women's, for example, is the top 6 teams from the Afro basket. So it's not everybody. It's just like the same way at this World Cup that we're currently playing, the top 7 teams will qualify automatically, you know, to Tokyo 2020, and then the best records from those. Unfortunately, this year, this is not a World Cup year for the women. The World Cup was played last year, and we've moved on to the Afro basket. So, and they're no longer using the regional, you know, championships.
So they have to play
qualify.
the qualifiers.
So they have to play the qualifiers, you know, to qualify through. The idea is make basketball a little bit, you know, more competitive. Also, exposure. The more games we watch, the more we get familiarized with the players, with the teams, and of course, it will help even the federations with funding. Because I mean, you can't just have a 2-week tournament every 2 years and you expect to get major sponsors to back you up. But when there are a series of activities going on, those sponsors can look at points of activation, how they can, you know, reach out to the public because it's more in the faces, there's television, a lot of things that go into it. So I think it's a good thing FIBA is going through this. But I know also because it's a new invention, it will take time to regularize. I think by the next window, definitely, you know, and of course, for example, the women for the first time are going to be playing these qualifiers. Usually there's an Olympic qualifying tournament, and even the winners of Afrobasket and the runners-up are the 2 people that qualify for the Olympic qualifying tournament. But I'm sure by the next one, it will definitely change. So for me, it's a good one. Even if you look at the format of the World Cup, a lot of people were confused, you know, with how it was. But I think it's a smart one, smart invention from FIBA. What they did was, you know what, every group has 4 teams. The top 2 teams qualify to the next round. Then they group them again, you know, against themselves. Classification, even the second round. Now, the second round is not a one-off game and you qualify. You know, you play 2 games, you know, in the second round, and all your points are added together, which determines if you're going to go to the quarterfinals.
They just want more games to watch.
More games for the teams to play, and I like it. It's
like
also
it?
fair. It's fair because every team plays the same number of games. For example, Nigeria is going to the Olympic Games based on a better record than Tunisia. Unlike saying, maybe, oh, you play the tougher opponent and you start using exponentials and mathematics to say this team is better. So everybody plays the same number. Your points, your wins and losses count. And so you can justify the reason why you are better than the next person because you played the same number of games and you did better than them.
Not by your opponent that you're playing.
Exactly.